Hello, empath! I suppose that you're an empath because you clicked on this reading. That is for empath, as you may know from the title. If you're not sure if you're an empath, I suggest you to watch this video first, where I explain what an empath is and also what signs there are that show you that you're an empath. The reading today, it's about you. We are talking about being an empath. We are talking about the positive and negative effects, how you feel about it, like what it means for your life, and also the best tips for you exactly, how you can ground yourself, shield yourself, restore your energies. Good. You may know already how a pick card reading works. We have 3 piles of cards. One is with the red jaspis. By the way, I'm not sure if these crystals are called the way I call them, because I know them in different other languages, but not in English. As you may hear, that English is not my first language, but we are not here for being perfect on this channel, we are here for being real. Okay, red jaspis, or whatever, the red stone, we have the aventurine, or something like this, and the moonstone. Now I suggest you to close your eyes for a moment, to breathe in deeply, breathe out. Just take a couple of breaths by your own. Let everything go and arrive at this moment here. Go into this feeling of being an empath, of that knowing, and expect that when you open your eyes, you know exactly which pile is yours today. Take a deep breath in, breathe out and open your eyes. Now choose one of the 3, and then you can click in the description on which pile you have chosen. Please also let me know in the comments which pile is yours. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. First, of course, we want to talk about your gifts. Who are you as an empath? And we start with the first card. Really interesting. You may know this card already, it's the Hermit. And I can see that you are one of the empaths who walk maybe a solitary path, or at least you think that you have to walk alone. I guess that in your younger years you already felt that you are different than other people, and this may lead to a life that feels like you are alone. When you feel that different in young ages, it means usually that you can feel alone, and it looks like that you took this feeling of feeling alone into your life, into your adult life. And as I hear, it's not something negative. I can see that you also take this solitary life as your strength. You are not someone who really suffers from being alone. I guess you like to be alone. You feel maybe better or at least calmer when you're alone. So it could be that you live alone. Maybe you live alone in an apartment instead of with friends or with your partner. It could also be that your hobbies are reading or doing other stuff that you do when you're alone and not with other people. Of course, you can meet other people, but you see your life or your empath life as one of being alone, of being the hermit, of looking for your knowledge alone. It looks like you're not someone who will find your wisdom and your truth in a group of people, but rather alone. If this is the truth, I don't know, but it's the truth for you. It's the one that you feel the most at home, I would say, because you are used to be alone or you're used to feel alone. So being alone for you and being an empath for you, it's not something bad. I can see that you see it as a gift. even if you may be alone and walking your path alone, I can see that you are using this. You're not really feeling like you are wrong with what you feel, but it looks like you could even think about to do something that brings you money or that brings you something materialistic. It could be that you feel that with your gifts, you could even help other people and make money from it. What I also see here is that while you think you could do something for the greater good, the greater good, and for other people, you also feel maybe that you're not ready yet. It looks like this whole empath life, you may know it already since many years, but it looks like you only now start to understand what you have, and you start to understand that this could be a greater gift that you may have known up to now. As you're walking alone, I can see that you think that you are not strong enough, or that your skills or your gifts are not that big. You may think that what you have is special, but not special enough to help other people. What I see is that it's your choice. If you want to do something more with these gifts, if you want to help other people, do it. Then it's your call. I can feel and see that you know that you could do a lot with your gifts. You may not only be an empath, maybe you're a light worker, maybe you're intuitive, maybe you read cards, maybe you can sense or read energy, and it doesn't look like you are only an empath, but you have also other gifts, and you know that with those gifts you could maybe make a living, or you could sustain yourself in another way that you're doing now, because you see that other people are doing it. Of course, you can see it here on YouTube, you can see it in other ways. There are so many people who ask also for an energy exchange, that was money is, and they kind of are not anymore working the solitary path. I can tell you one thing, even if you speak up, even if you go out there with your gifts and you want to help people, it doesn't mean that from then on you have to always be with people, that you always have to share everything, or that you have to live with people, or that you have to grow in your spiritual journey with other people. If this is something that you start to like, then you can do it, but you don't have. You can even be out there and sharing your gifts and still walking your walk alone, and that's okay. That's completely okay, and I think you should be doing. You should think about that, and you should not forget that you can always walk your path, even if you share your gifts with the outside world, with the people around you, with maybe the world. Maybe you feel drawn to... Yeah, I see that a hermit usually would maybe not like to go out and really share the gifts with everyone, or I don't know, start a YouTube channel or a website or somehow. But I can see that you see that this could be a potential. It could be something that could be your path, because can you see the light here? The light from the hermit shows in this direction, and it tells me that you can see that there is big potential for you. In any way, if you want to go out there and share your gifts or not, it's really important that you know how to set healthy boundaries. It's even more important if you want to work with people, and also how you could shield yourself. You may already know how to do it, or it could be that you are doing it just by being alone and spending time alone. But we want to see how you can shield and how you can protect yourself even more. You are a mirror for people. This is how people use your energy and your empathic gifts. This is what I can see now. They use you as a mirror and a way to learn, but maybe they are not doing this consciously, but rather unconsciously. So this is nice, it's amazing that you can be a mirror for others, but of course you have to protect also your emotions and yourself. One of the healthy boundaries that you could set is that you start to talk about your emotions. Yes, you want to be alone. Yes, you want to deal with your emotions alone and with everything. But a healthy boundary can also come from sharing your stuff. You're not only here for listening to other people, but you could also talk about your emotions. You don't have to talk with everyone about your emotions, that's clear. But with your friends and with people that you care about and they care about you, one of the healthy boundaries that you could set is just talk about your emotions. Be open about them. Why not? There's no reason why you should not be open. And if you want to work with people, then it's also important that you don't forget yourself. Maybe you have parents or a friend or friends that are there for you and they want to hear about your emotions. Maybe you think not, because you can feel so much and you can feel their emotions and you are the mirror for them, but they want to know about you. Maybe they don't feel as close to you as they want. They would like to be closer to you, but they feel that you are special, that you are different, and they feel also that you want to do this path alone. Everyone is different, and if your friends or the people near you are not empaths, that's okay. Of course, they don't have to be the same as you. Accept them as they are. Accept them that maybe they also have a gift to share with you. And one way to shield yourself, let's say you are on a social event or somewhere with other people, maybe not your friends, but other people who use you as a mirror, then imagine that there is a mirror between you and the person that is talking to you. This can help a lot. It not only puts kind of a wall between you two, and so that it's not that you have to receive all the energy of this person, but it also helps you and maybe the other person too to really use your gifts as a mirror. Imagine a mirror between you and this person talking to you. This is, in your case, pile number 1, a really, really effective shielding method. And what to do, dear pile number 1, after you met people, after you've been outside and there was so much energy, so much draining energy, or so much other energy, just too much. What could you do to ground yourself, to center yourself? We have here the 3 of Swords, and I just heard now the message that a good meditation for you is to imagine, like you can go home or somewhere else, just try to find a quiet place for you and start to imagine. Use your imagination, use your brain, use your mind to imagine how all this energy that you picked up during the day or that you picked up during a conversation, and that it's stored somewhere in your body, that can be in your head, in your heart, anywhere else. Imagine how this energy that you have stored starts to move. And while it moves, it goes to the direction of your heart. When it reaches your heart, trust your heart. Your heart is so strong. Imagine that this heart chakra, this heart region starts to open up and lets all this energy go through it. Let your heart be the one that helps you to wash everything away, to ground yourself, to take out all the energy that is not necessary for you, that you don't need in your life, that you don't need in your body. Okay, again, imagine that all the energy that is in your body that you don't want, imagine how it starts moving, going into your heart center. And your heart center, while it spirals, or however you want to imagine your heart chakra, imagine how all the stored energy flows through it. Let it flow, let it go through it. And even if it hurts a bit, it can hurt, just let it go. Believe me that your heart is strong enough and it's here to clean, it's here to cleanse, it is here for you. I also ask the cards if there's some aspect in your life that needs more attention, like that you're not only always with the energies of other people, but going back to yourself. What is it that you need? What is it that your body, your mind, your heart, your emotions, what do they need? What is important in your life? And this is for me the feeling of maybe you do not honor your emotions enough. You know they are there, you feel that they are sometimes overwhelming, overflowing. You maybe don't like to share them because you like to be alone. But I can also see even if you decide to not share your emotions, at least you yourself, you should honor them. It should be something really important for you. Because if you don't fill your cup, your needs, you can see the cup cannot be full. And if you don't have a full cup, you cannot help other people. So one of the first things to do and to always remember is that you should fill your cup first. And what I hear is that filling your cup means honor your emotions. Honor who you are. Honor that all these emotions that are in you, when you have released everything else, honor them. This is you, your emotions. This is something beautiful. I see that your emotions are colorful. You are full of them. And it would be really sad if you don't honor them. While you honor your emotions, you will find out that it's even easier to honor the emotions of other people. It will get easier. It will be like sometimes maybe you pick up emotions at the moment that are pretty strong or confused or sad or depressed, and you, of course, you recognize them, but sometimes it looks like you're not honoring them. You think, oh my God, this person again feels like this, or this is so strong emotions. Why are they keeping those emotions? Why are they not releasing those emotions? And while you begin to honor more your emotions, you will also start to honor more the emotions of other people. And this is really important if you want to work with them. And overall, I can see this as a really positive, a beautiful pile, number one. I see that you as an empath are already in a really good place. Like I can't see confusion. There's not something that is really bothering you. It can be hard, of course. It can be difficult for you too, but I can see that you are already pretty strong. You are not pretty strong, you are really strong. And that I think you can really go out now. You have already done so much and worked on yourself and with this empath life, that everything that you already survived and experienced. So I think it's time you could start to really go out, help other people, maybe other people who are empath, maybe other people who just feel a lot of emotions like you do. So pile number one, don't forget to let any energy that you don't need going through your heart, and don't forget to share your emotions. I would love if you write something in the comments, tell me about how you feel about it, and if you have some questions, let me know. Pile number two. I can feel that this one is an important one. I don't know if there will come some important messages, or if you have like a really important purpose in this life. I just can feel that there is something important to you, pile number two. Also maybe because my Polish matches the stone. Okay, pile number two. We are talking about you now, and first of all I want to talk about how you are or how you feel as an empath. And I can feel here, we see there's justice already. This position here means this is you, like who are you as an empath? And I can see that you are someone, as you feel all these emotions of other people, you may also feel or think that you are here to be justice, to look at everything goes right. Of course, when you're in a group of people and you feel these different emotions, it looks like maybe you are a Libra or a Libra rising, and I just see this, of course, is Libra energy of you are here to help, you think you're here to help other people do the right thing or to balance out situations. Let's say you are in a situation with friends or with several people, and one of them is angry, one of them is happy, one of them feels different than the others, and you, of course, pick up all these emotions. Now, it looks like in these situations, you are the one that tries to balance out these emotions and to balance out the situation. Could also be someone is fighting two persons and you are the one, not that you are in between, but you are there and you know how you could help because you feel the emotions of the people involved, but also you feel like you have to balance out the situation because you know that you may be the only one who understands the whole situation because you feel the whole situation, you feel it really good. So it looks like this is the thing that you need or want to do. Let's go on. Amazing, amazing. This already looks amazing to me. Can you see the justice in the middle, how she sits there, and how now the King of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles are just sitting there around them. We are talking now about what are the positive and negative aspects, like negative aspects of your situation, of being an empath. It could be that it's not too long ago that you found out about empath, but I feel that you since childhood were and are the one who are balancing out. So with your gifts, you are balancing out the situations. But about knowing about empaths, it looks like this is not something that you know since childhood, but maybe you recently found out. Yeah, that could be. You know that feeling all this emotion of yourself and of other people brings you into a situation where you can balance out, where you can see what is right, what is wrong, how a situation could be better. It's all because you feel all these emotions. Now, this for you is a really positive aspect. I can see that this is something you understand, you know, because without these gifts, you could not be in that position. You may sometimes even feel that you are in a higher position than other people because you can see everything and you can feel everything. You know that you maybe are in a better position or on a higher level. Of course, being on a higher level or thinking that you're on a higher level, this is the ego talking. But I also think it's not that bad as an empath to know that being an empath, it's not something bad, it's not something that you have to suffer, but it's something that can bring you in a good position, of course. So what I see is really that for you, the positive part or the positive aspect of being an empath is that it brings you to this higher position, a position where you can see and observe the whole situation and understand the whole situation. But what do you experience as negative as an empath? We have here the Queen of Pentacles, and maybe you can see how she is looking at her pentacle. So it feels like you know or you feel that you are on a higher level and that you bring balance into situations. You also feel not weak maybe is the wrong word of it, but you feel that this gift makes you special, makes you different than other people, and this also can scare you. When you're in a situation where you can balance out, that's amazing. But sometimes you can feel that all these emotions also are really strong. And you are not here to balance out every situation, and you may have already been into situations where you could not balance them out, where they were overwhelming, or where you could feel that through feeling all these emotions and all these energies of other people, that you were in a lower position. I don't know why this word comes up now all the time, this position. And because you can feel you are that sensitive, and you feel like through this sensitivity and through all these emotions, this could also bring you to a point or a moment where you could be weak, because maybe there is no energy left for you. When you have all this energy of other people and you have to balance all these people out and all the situations out, you may be afraid that there will be not enough energy left for you. I want to talk about the truth here. And yes, this situation can come where you, that many emotions and energies could make you feel weak or make you feel tired and exhausted. And I don't know how many times it already happened to you. It looks like not that much. You're not one of the empaths who feel really, really drained, but you know it could be there. And maybe you all are already setting healthy boundaries or shielding, but maybe your shielding or your way to deal with these emotions and energies is to bring balance. You see yourself as the one, or you feel yourself as the one who brings balance to the situation, and this is the way how you shield yourself. But now I want to see if there's another way, so that in the future you can shield even more, or you can set healthy boundaries. Okay, he's already shielding, as you can see. He's already setting a boundary. What is important is that you don't try to shield yourself how other people are shielding themselves. I think people who are not empath shield themselves usually by not talking about their emotions, by lying, by being someone else as they really are, by not being authentic. So, being authentic looks like it's something important to you. I can feel that you are quite young. I don't think it can be that you are older your age, but it feels like you are around 20 or even younger, or at least your knowing about being an empath makes you feel young, or makes you feel like you are in a new life or a new path. Good. Being authentic is something that can help you set boundaries. Because when you are authentic and being yourself, your boundaries are really clear. Because before setting your boundaries, you should know what your boundaries are. To which point you want to let people come to you, let people pierce into your, aura, we can say, into your shield, into your life. How much do you really want to balance for people? How much energy do you want to give them? How much do you want to give from you? Are you really ready to let them in that much? Is it what you really want? Or maybe you don't need, I see that you like to balance things out. You like this position that you have. You know that all this feeling, it's something good. It's a gift. Now you only have to learn how you want to use this gift in the future. And also, you don't need to be open completely to balance out. You don't need to really open your heart completely or let any energy in to help people, to help situations, to help the energy to be balanced. It's also enough if you just observe, if you just take a bit of the emotions, or just recognize and see and understand the emotions and the energies around you. You don't have to pick them up. You can see here are the ones, you don't have to pick them up all. You can just observe them. Look, the justice is just sitting there and looking. She doesn't have to be involved. So try to take a step back maybe, try to not pick up every emotion, and ask yourself, if you're really when you are authentic and your real self, how much do you want to let in? How much do you really want to feel about other people? As I feel that you are rather young or new into knowing that you're an empath, one of the important ways to shield yourself, or let's say one of the good ways to shield yourself, is always to imagine a bubble or a sphere around your body. This bubble should also go underneath your feet, everywhere around you. When you can imagine this bubble, the bubble should be filled or should start to fill with light. This light can be white or yellow goldish. You can choose the color. Important is that the color feels good for you. And this light, recognize and know that this light is divine light, is love, is light, it's a good energy. And this light around you is protecting you. So from this point where you are sitting in your bubble, in your light bubble, you can still observe everything. You can still be there for everyone. You can still help them, but you are protected. You don't have to pick up all the emotions. You're just sitting there, and you can help from another position that it would be as if you would. So it would be another position as you would be if you would pick up all the emotions. Because if you pick up all the emotions after a while, it could weaken you and it could make the situations not that nice anymore. I also asked the cards how you can ground yourself. Let's say you were in this situation where you balanced things out and where you picked up a lot of emotions. So what can you do to ground yourself, to center yourself, to restore energy? And I can see here that maybe you're someone who likes to be active. Maybe you like to go outside, to do sports. But in this position or in this way, I can see that to really ground yourself, you could start with a meditation practice or with something a bit more calm than usual. So think about what you do usually if you want to feel better, if you want to center yourself. What do you do usually? Okay, and now imagine doing that a bit more relaxed, a bit more calm, with less energy. Something that does not need a lot of energy from you. Not something that you have to push out again energy from yourself, but look for something that needs more energy from you. So of course, I really like to exercise. It's something that grounds me. It's something that really balances my life out. But in your way, I can see that exercise, it's still something nice, and going out, it's still something nice, meeting people, it's nice. But really to center yourself in the future, I would suggest to find something calm. Okay, meditation, of course. If this is too calm for you, start with guided meditations or with listening to affirmations. I think guided meditations usually really help a lot. I have one in the description down below that you can download. It's for free, it's not that long, only 10 minutes, but it would help you to center yourself, to ground yourself, even more to restore energy. But you don't have to use that one, but you can use another one. Meditation, yeah. In my opinion, or what I can see, is that even a short meditation practice, you don't have to be a super Buddhist monk somewhere and meditate for hours and hours, but just short meditations could help you. And I also asked my cards if there's an aspect in your life that you are maybe neglecting, or an aspect that needs a bit more energy of you, and not only the energy that you're using to balance things out. And one aspect of your life, it's again being authentic. We were already talking about this topic, and here it repeats it again, and it is, of course, you want to be accepted, and balance for other people and being there for other people, it's amazing. But it's really important that you don't lose yourself in the process, and also that you Know that you don't need approval from other people. You don't have to fit in a certain institution, in a certain circle, in a certain I don't know what. You don't have to fit in. You are perfect and amazing as you are. You can even talk about that you're an empath. You can be authentic. Be authentic. It will be something that makes your life even richer, even more abundant, even more happy. Because don't forget to balance out your life too. It's not only the life and the situations of others, but also your life. And maybe also in the meditation you will find your authentic self even more. When you go deep in a meditation, you can see who you really are. You're not only an empath, you're not only this person who maybe everyone likes, because I can see that this Libra energy, if you have a placement, a Libra placement, please let me know in the comments down below. But this Libra energy also shows me that you are liked. You are someone who is that the people like to be around. Also because, of course, you balance them out. It's maybe egoistic of them if they do it consciously or unconsciously, but when you are with the group or with people, it feels good for the others. So, of course, you are liked, and this is amazing, but don't forget to walk your path, your way, your authentic path. Great. Pile number 2. This was really interesting. I think I told at the beginning that it seems like an important pile for me. And I think this is because you are in the beginning of this journey. Enjoy the beginning. Know that this is your journey. It's your path. It's an amazing path. Don't forget to do it in your way. That was it for you, pile number 2. Hello, pile number 3, the Moonstone. Amazing. Let's see what the cards will tell us today for you. You are an empath. You know that you're an empath. And you think a lot about using your gifts for the greater good, for yourself. You maybe think about, how can I use this gift to be a better person, to manifest the life that I want, to help other people. What can I do with all these gifts? I see, of course, here we have fire energy. Maybe you are a fire sign, or maybe you have some fire placements in your birth chart. I just see that you are an empath who are not only feeling a lot, but you also want to do. So while asking the questions to the card, who are you as an empath, this card comes up. And this card, it's really about energy, but also about the energy and the strength and the action that you have used and that you are using in your life, and that brought you to the moment now, to who you are. Really interesting. So we are now talking about who you are as an empath. What are the positive and negative aspects of you as an empath, or how you see them? Pile number 3, you are the one that has the most, I would say, urge to go on in life, to do more of what with your skills, and to do and have more from life as how it is now. And you see your skills as something special. You may think that thanks to your gifts, you are different than others, more or on another level than others, maybe more special than others. And this is maybe, okay, let's say it clear. Thinking that you are better than others because of some gifts, this is the ego. You are different than others. Yes, you have other skills than others. You have gifts that many other people not have, but that many people have. You are special because you are you. Of course you are special. But thinking about that, because you are an empath, rules of life and of the world do not touch you only because you are someone special. This is the ego talking. And this is not, I don't tell this in a negative way. This is just what I'm hearing now. I don't know how it looks like in your life or how this shows in your life, but there is some ego with your being an empath. You see it in such a positive way to be an empath. Maybe that doesn't mean that you never suffered because you're an empath, or you never thought, oh, maybe it would be nice not being an empath or not feeling that way. But maybe you learned somehow to cope with these feelings by thinking, I'm special, I'm that different than other people, and so I'm a gift to... Of course you're a gift. I don't want to say that you're not a gift. You are a gift. But thinking about that you are more a gift than maybe other ones, this is not really a thought that will bring you far as an empath. Because as an empath, you're a deep spiritual and intuitive human being. Your soul is here for a reason, of course. Every soul is here for a reason. And your mission and being an empath, it's really important. But I can see that your ego, that maybe it's a bit in your life at the moment, or in your being an empath, also keeps you from going forward. Because you have a little fear. And this fear is that this was it all. That everything stops here. It will not get better. You're an empath, you feel these feelings, you feel this energy, you can see this energy, you can see how people really are. And you may feel that this was it, this was all. You cannot go on, but you want to go on. You have this fire in you that wants to go on. You would like to make huge steps. You would like to go everywhere. You would like, with your skills, to conquer the world, to better the world. And we have the world here, and you may be afraid, or in your subconscious, could be, maybe you are conscious of it, maybe not, that this was it, that you cannot go further than how you are now. And this is your ego. Again, if you try, or if you can start to put your ego aside, you will see that your path is not over yet, that you have so much more to learn, so much more to do, and so much further to go. Okay, we were talking about the ego concept, about you as an empath and really energetic or fire energy, the fire energy in you. And now I also want to talk about how you can set healthy boundaries, how you can shield yourself, but also how you can ground and center yourself and restore your energies. It doesn't look like when you feel exhausted. Let's say it could be worse. You are really strong. And one way I can see how you can set healthy boundaries is to understand what boundaries are. Okay. Of course, you are really strong, so you can pick up a lot of energies without being exhausted. But also here, don't let the ego fool you to tell you that because you are that strong, that you don't need to set boundaries, or that you don't need to shield yourself, because you are still an empath, and you pick up all this energy. And also there will be situations where there are so many emotions that you don't want in your life, and though you are really strong, you don't need to hold them in your life. Let them go. As I can see that you're really strong, I don't want to tell you what is the best for you. I give you some ideas and you can decide. You can start, there are two ways. You can shield yourself, protect yourself in a situation or while meeting someone, or you can just let everything in, and then later on you can ground yourself and let go of the things that you picked up. I think you can, if you want, you don't need to shield yourself, because you can pick up everything. It's okay. You will survive that. It will not put you in a really bad position. So if you want to stay open and not shield yourself during a conversation or during a social event, then don't shield yourself. Try it out. But don't let the ego fool you that you are able to take everything in. You don't need to. You can decide for yourself. Try out both, I would say. Try out to shield yourself. If you don't know the concept of shielding, there are different ways of doing it. You could, for example, imagine a bubble around your body. Also important to have it around over your head and under your feet. This bubble should or can be between 1 or 2 meters big around your body. And imagine that this bubble is filled with light, with divine light, with love, and that this light dissolves every energy that comes from the outside. If something comes to you, energy or emotions from other people, then through that light it dissolves and it doesn't reach you. Good, you can try that out. So you will, in a conversation or in a situation, you will still see and know the emotions of other people, but you don't have to take them in. And the other way, try to take them in as usual, and then afterwards, I would say grounding yourself, doing something with the earth would be really beneficial for you. As you have a lot of fire energy, grounding yourself, put your feet on the ground, on the earth. Best is if you can go barefoot outside. If this is not available to you, not possible in your situation, then at least be barefoot at home or in your apartment, and imagine how you have roots underneath your feet. You put them on the ground and imagine those roots that go out of you. Imagine how if you live, I don't know, in the 10th floor in an apartment, imagine that these roots are going inside the earth. They penetrate everything that is in between. This is not important. Important is the earth. You can imagine how these roots go everywhere in the earth. They go really deep, they spread out. And then you can imagine how all this energy that you picked up go into the earth. Let them, with every breath out, go into the earth. The earth will pick up everything. That's not a problem. And if you need some more energy, if you need to restore your energy, you can imagine that this is a circuit. Like you give this energy that is too much for you, and you pick up this calming, grounding energy from the earth. So you give energy out of your roots, and while you breathe in, good energy, calming energy comes into your body. So grounding with the earth, it's a really amazing way for you, pie number 3, to ground yourself and to center yourself. And what I also wanted to talk about is how you can, or if there are aspects in your life that need your attention. My question now to you is, are you neglecting something in your life? Could it be that you are neglecting people, or your financial situation, or your situation at home? Is there something you pay less attention, but more attention to your spirituality, to your being an empath? Maybe you put your focus on that, and because of that, you are neglecting something else in your life. It's amazing to be an empath, and spirituality, as you can see from my channel, it's also really important in my life. But we are still on earth, we are still human beings. So if there's an aspect in your life that is really human, is really earthy, is really yeah, not that spiritual. Think about, what could that be? Where are you neglecting? Could it be that you have grandparents that are still alive and maybe you don't hear them because you don't have time, because maybe they are people who are not your kind of people, maybe they are not spiritual. I don't know why I said grandparents. This was just one of the first pictures I had. It can also be someone else from the family, or people who love you, but because they are not like you may be neglecting them. And I understand, of course, if there's people in your life who are not, who are really seeing the world in a different way, even more in this situation now, this situation in the world now, this can be really difficult. But still, if it is grandparents or someone older, don't forget they don't live forever, and let's say their body don't live forever. And if you don't have to spend like the whole week with them, or I don't know, and really a lot of time, just try to sometimes meet these people or call them, or just let them know that you're sorry, that you are still there, because they love you, even if you see the world in another way that they see it. But they love you anyway. So don't forget them, just sometimes. Or let's say, how would you feel if these people, or this person, or these people were not there anymore, and it's 10 years later? Wouldn't you think about that maybe you should have spent some time with them? And think about you as an empath. Or maybe you don't want to see them because you feel their emotions. But if you are meeting those people who see the world in a different way but still love you, try out shielding. Try out shielding. Because you as an empath, you give them a lot. Even if you don't know, even if they don't know how you give them a lot, but you give them a lot. And that's also why they love you and why they want to feel your energy. So if you want to meet these people, if you decide to give them a bit of attention, shield yourself. This may be one of the good moments to shield yourself and ground yourself too. Good, pile number 3. Really interesting cards to see as you as an empath. Please let me know in the comments down below if you chose pile number 3 and how you feel about it. And if you have questions, please also let me know. So I hope you liked this reading. Please let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you have other questions. Of course, you can always book a reading with me. You can find all the information in the description down below. Thank you for watching and for subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up. See you in the next one.